Due to the spread of the global health situation, international travel has been the latest activity on everyone's mind. But now that vaccinations have been made readily available, many feel that it's necessary to return to normal and take a break into a foreign country. And what could be better than visiting a place that none of your friends have ever experienced yet? Rwanda, otherwise known as the land of 1,000 hills, is an example of one of those overlooked gems that could introduce you to a whole new world. So whether you're in the process of planning your next holiday or just want to know more about the African country, then you've come to the right place, as we're about to take a look at some of the reasons why Rwanda should be your next vacation stop. Don't move a muscle, as things are about to get wild. But before we get into the video, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel, as well as hitting that post notification bell so you don't miss any more videos from us. Becoming one with the gorillas. Due to the conservation efforts and public works of figures like Dian Fossey, Africa's mountain gorillas have never been more loved. And while it still might be true that these muscular creatures are able to tear visitors apart when provoked, we now know that the chances of this happening are very slim, as gorillas are not only sweet, but incredibly peaceful as well. So, if seeing these mountain gorillas in their own natural habitat is something you've always wanted for yourself, make sure to book a trip to the Volcanoes Park. It's within this park that the majority of Rwanda's mountain gorillas can be found, as this is where they are protected from the effects of habitat destruction, poaching, and other human-induced threats. This isn't the same effect as watching a gorilla in a zoo though, as rather than being caged, these beautiful creatures are able to roam free and start a family whenever they wish. Just keep in mind that the Rwandan government has been known to restrict the number of tourists allowed to visit the mountain gorillas in Volcanoes Park at a time, which means you'll definitely have to book a premium spot in advance. And since it's estimated that around half of the world's mountain gorillas are contained within the park, there is no doubt that you'll be able to find a few members of the gorilla family to watch going about their day. There's nothing more adorable than watching an infant gorilla annoying his parents for attention, or playing alongside other infants in the group. You'll also stare in wonder as the alpha silverback sits and watches over the tribe, ready to run up against anyone or anything that threatens its family's survival. And last but not least, you'll be satisfyingly surprised by just how similar these animals act to your friends and family, showing just how obvious it is that we share a common ancestor with one another. Visiting the Dian Fossey Research Center. As mentioned earlier, Dian Fossey is probably one of the most famous primatologists in the world, who completed most of her research while living in Rwanda. The perfect complement of any mountainback gorilla trek has to be a visit to her research home site, where many scientific discoveries were made in respect of our hairy brothers and sisters. Taking a hike up to the Shrine of Enlightenment is an experience of both wonder and education. You'll learn that Dian Fossey not only studied gorillas, but was the primary reason for the conservation efforts in Rwanda to protect them. You'll also learn that Rwanda was not Dian's first choice. She was actually studying mountain gorillas in the Democratic Republic of Congo beforehand, but after being taken prisoner by rebel soldiers, she escaped to Rwanda, where she continued her research and formed a deep connection to a silverback by the name of Digit. Even though the gorillas were fearful at the time because of poaching efforts, Dian was able to get them to trust her, ultimately allowing further protection. And while this ultimately led to her death in 1985 at the hands of the poachers she was protecting the mountain gorillas from, Rwanda remained indebted to her for the incredible work that she did in their country. The Dian Fossey Grave Shrine Tour in Volcanoes National Park not only allows you to walk in this incredible woman's footsteps, but visit the site where both her and Digit were buried upon their deaths. It's a humbling and heartfelt safari experience, and it makes you really appreciate what you have. So be sure to book yourself a place when you can. The wonder of hiking. This isn't the only hike available throughout Rwanda though, with the mountains and hilly regions of the country being the primary spot for any outdoor vacation. If you're a lover of hiking trails and nature, then look no further than the Volcanoes National Park and Ngui Forest, each of which offer incredible hiking trails suitable for all levels of hikers. The majority of these hiking trails also end in some of the most excellent landscape views in the world, which make for the perfect spots to watch the sun either set or rise. And if you're not sure of whether you're going to be able to survive a particular hike, all that you have to do is contact African Mecca Safaris, who will give you all the information that you need in this regard. One of the most challenging treks that is offered by the country is an elevation of around 4,507 feet atop of the snow-capped mountains of Mount Karisimbi in the Volcanoes National Park. The hike will take you a grand total of 2 days to complete, and is sure to challenge both your physical and mental being, while showing you the amazing beauty of at least 4 different vegetarian zones. Suffice it to say, you will need a guide on this adventure, and should not try it if if you have a lack of underlying health conditions. If you still want a challenge though, but your fitness levels aren't ready for a 2-day hike, then take a trip up to Mount Bisso, as this is considered to be more of an amateur trek, which is likely to take you around 7 hours to complete, with stops along the way. A crater lake will surprise you at the summit, allowing for incredible photographs that are sure to make all of your Instagram followers jealous. It's a primate life for us. While mountain gorillas might be the most famous primates on the land, the country is known to offer a wide selection of incredible creatures, ranging from chimpanzees to black and white colobus. Since chimpanzees are considered to be the most human-like of any of the primates in the world, you'll definitely want to spend some time watching them look after their young and use tools to survive. It's an extraordinary experience, which is sure to make you yearn for more. So, if this does sound something like you'd be interested in doing, take a trip up to the Nungi National Park, which is by far the best place to view chimpanzees in their natural habitats. Not only are you going to end up learning a lot about chimpanzees by taking in this experience, as while the professional guide takes you through the forested area of the national park, you'll be taught the basics of tracking and finding these majestic creatures who migrate every single day. Another primate species that thrills visitors of Rwanda is the golden monkey, which is vibrant in color and always on the move. In fact, this species tends to scamper across the forest treetops, stopping only to feast on fruit and leaves throughout the day. Taking in the sights of the golden monkeys is a must, so make sure to visit the bamboo forest of the Volcanoes National Park, as well as the Gishwati Mukura Forest in the northwestern part of the country. Taking a break in Kigali. Since most of your time up to now has been spent hiking on trails in the bush of Rwanda, why not take a trip over to the friendliest capital city of all in Africa? Kigali has a fantastic metropolitan ambience about it, with the population of the city being quite young across the board. Unlike other capital cities throughout the world, you'll find that Kigali is a blend of engaging tourist activities and history. For those of you that don't know, even the recent past of Rwanda has been brutal, so Kigali has tried its best to keep the memory of these atrocities alive while still trying to move forward with love and hope. As such, the city has become a thriving spot for business and economic development, with this development always keeping the preservation of natural contours and surrounding hillsides in mind. While there is quite a few shops to look at and restaurants to eat, your trip isn't complete without first visiting the Kant House, which is considered to be the National History Museum of Rwanda. Geology lovers will go absolutely crazy about the back section of this museum, which has been dedicated to the country's volcanism and incredible rock formations. You're also going to be seeing a visit at the Neo Art Gallery, which would be quite rewarding, as it will introduce you to the lives of the street children of Rwanda and show how art is actually helping them get by. You might also be tempted to make a donation of your own, making your vacation not just one of physical growth, but emotional as well, embedding yourself in the culture of Rwanda. Those of you who have already traveled the world will know that the best thing you could possibly do is spend some time with the locals. And while it might be true that the three main cultures of Rwanda once clashed largely over socioeconomic differences, today they represent a common commitment to the betterment of all Rwandan people. So take some time to get to know the groups from the Hutu, Tutsi, and Twa tribes and listen to their incredible stories. By surrounding yourself with these different subsets of the population, you'll see that they value nothing more than their own cultures and have an outstanding pride for the nation that they live in. But rather than walking into a tribe's home unannounced, call up our friends at the African Mecca Safaris once more, who actually offer a range of cultural tours which are sensitive to the preservation of Africa's indigenous tribes. It's only good manners to let someone know you're coming after all. By far, one of the greatest experiences offered in this regard is a visit to the Ubiwaku village just outside of the Volcanoes National Park. Guests are always greeted by an incredible presentation of drumming and dancing, coupled with warm Rwandan hospitality. The trip will also have you learning about their traditional medicines, sampling some traditional foods, drowning some delicious banana beer, and even visiting a replica of the king's house. The option to stay overnight at one of these mini villages is also a possibility, but you'll need to organize this beforehand. So, are you going to visit Rwanda anytime soon? Feel free to let us know in the comment section down below, and also don't forget to like the video as well as subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell for more videos just like this. Until next time guys, we'll see you later.